Oh my goodness, this is live dash detailed. Welcome and thank you for your patience. What a morning I have had. Did you know that Firefox stopped supporting Google plugins required for Hangouts? Now you do. And first of all, congratulations to all in the Dash community at this time. It's really great for me that the day that Pete and I had a total software and hardware cluster, that it was also the day that Dash surpassed $100 per coin, because then it makes it look like, oh no, we planned this live stream. This wasn't a thing that we had to do at the last minute because our video that we recorded already didn't render or export correctly. No, 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 this was planned. Yes, so Pete, will you just come say hello for a minute? I'm telling you, look what we got for you all. We got a 4K camera. So we recorded the episode that was supposed to go up today. Thank you, love. With this fancy new camera. Pete got a new computer because his old computer was always bogging down when we were trying to render our videos. So we were like, you know what? Since the price of Dash has gone up, we can afford to get better hardware. So let's get a better computer, let's get a better camera, and we were gonna blow you away today with our new and improved Dash Detailed. And it all went to hell. So here we are for a live show. With no further ado, let's begin with development updates. So I'm sure you noticed, or if you didn't notice, I'll be the first one to tell you that last week, beginning March 7th, I believe, there was a DDoS attack on the Dash Masternode network. Certainly the first one that has happened while I've been working for Dash. And if I have not misunderstood, it may have been the first one ever. So to give you some details, on last week's show, I reported that at the time, about 100 masternodes had been taken down as a result of this. And so it was speculated by some core developers at the time that these masternodes were perhaps running on like low quality VPS services, something like $1 a month or whatever. And so, I made a little crack in last week's show. Oh, these $1 a month masternodes have been taken down. Oh, well, so bad, so sad. But no, a few days later, a second wave of DDoS came in, and at the most extreme point, it took down an additional 400 masternodes. So at one point, 500 masternodes had been taken down. That made up 12% approximately of the masternode network. And yeah, so we have since recovered and are back to our pre-DDoS node count. In fact, I'll just give you the numbers. The pre-DDoS masternode count was 4,030. At the height of the nodes going down, there were 3,550. And so we're back to pre-DDoS levels, but as you'll see in the report, and I'll put all these show links below as soon as the live stream is over so that you can check for yourself if you like. You'll see in the report that some hardening measures for masternodes have been recommended. Namely, that you check out, if you run a masternode, that you check out an IP table rule set that's recommended when updating your firewall settings. And if that sounds like a complete nightmare to you, by the way, doing those sorts of things, thankfully there are masternode specific VPS services who take care of these kinds of things for you, should you want to run a masternode with their services, and you will find those listed at a site like dashmasternode.org. So, moving on. Our other development update is that dear Dash developer Chaplin has just made the third hardware wallet compatible with hosting a Dash masternode. He made the Trezor and the Keep Key compatible with doing so, and now the Ledger Nano S can also host a Dash masternode. Chaplin says that he's not yet figured out the transaction capability for the Ledger Nano S in particular, but the hosting of the 1000 Dash, which is all that is required in terms of the collateral holding for launching a masternode, that is possible with the Ledger Nano S now. Okay, whew, whew, I have to take a little breath. Never done this before. Gotta loosen up, okay. Moving on to business and headlines. So margin trading has been added to Poloniex for Dash, and I had to look up what margin trading meant. I have watched the movie The Big Short, so I do know what some of these types of terms mean, but I didn't know that one in particular. So margin trading is basically, Investopedia tells me, that you can now borrow money on Bitfinex to, I guess, trade Dash with. So, you know, it's these sorts of things. I don't know if they can all be put under the umbrella of derivatives. I don't know. But basically, yeah, it just increases the potential for reward, which also, of course, increases the risk. So it just increases things on both sides. I think a lot of people find it very exciting, and if you're a type of person who does that, margin trades Dash, I would love a sort of story in the comments below, just of how that works for you, what your day looks like, or how all of that goes. It seems exciting to me. And in addition, another online exchange, Whale Club, that is whaleclub.co, has just added a Dash and Bitcoin trading mechanism with a 3-to-1 leverage. I'm guessing that can be synonymous with 3-to-1 odds. I think you can bet for or against Dash with those odds, by the way, so you can go long or short. So that's at whaleclub.co. And in headlines, there was a write-up in NASDAQ that came out yesterday. I think that's the third time that Dash has been written about in NASDAQ, so that's kind of exciting. And it was basically a breakdown of the various components of Dash's infrastructure and ecosystem, so to speak. And so I was looking for the source of the article because that's pretty cool, that's pretty in-depth. And it said the source was Bitcoin Magazine. I thought, that's interesting, Bitcoin Magazine. And then I looked at Bitcoin Magazine's source, and it says the source for it was DAIA, which stands for the Digital Asset Investment and Analysis Group, I guess. So I had not heard of them, and yeah, that is the source for this NASDAQ article. In addition, on the Merkle, writer JP Buntix also made a sort of a breakdown. There's a bit of a trend going on with new articles this past few days in that the articles are focusing on like, hey, what is Dash? What is a Dash masternode? What is this? What is this? And that seems like a cool sign because it tells me that these writers anticipate that that's something that their readers are just now wondering about. So as I was saying, on the Merkle, JP Buntix published a breakdown of kind of what is the masternode system, what is it for, how does it operate, etc. And then in a very different kind of piece on Hacker Noon, actually, and Hacker Noon is the hacker-targeted subset of Medium.com. So on Hacker Noon, Leah Steffens, who is a relative newcomer to Dash, published a piece with an incredibly clever title, if you ask me, called "I Just Told a Robot to Send a $60 Tip to My Electronic Wallet." So provocative. And yeah, so that is Leah Steffens, and I think she plans to put in a sort of proposal to Dash's treasury in the forthcoming times, and so it'll be interesting to see where all of this goes. Now, moving into businesses, there's a new business called dashvideocasino.com. Apparently, they have a sister site, Bitcoin Video Casino, and they said, it was either on Twitter or on Reddit, they said, these transaction fees in Bitcoin are getting too much for our customers, so we decided to give y'all at Dash a try. We've just launched dashvideocasino.com. And the site looks, I don't know what the video part is. Maybe the video shows while you're playing the games. I don't know, I haven't tried it. But they take both, of course, real Dash as well as testnet coins, I read. So if one just wants to try it out without using real Dash, there are certainly testnet faucets for Dash available. If you want to know where those are, just ask around the Dash subreddit or Slack or forum. I imagine anybody who knows about them would be willing to point you in the right direction. And then finally, in businesses, there is an additional handful of other businesses that have begun accepting Dash over the past week or two. So 3 of them are all owned by the same organization. They are thailandstore.net, which has sort of Thai various home products. thailandpharmacy.net, which has various pharmaceuticals and herbal supplements. And capraonline.com, that's CAPPRA, which is a male enhancement supplement. And the final business, which is newly accepting Dash, is a CSA in Vermont. And CSA, I did not know what this stood for. CSA stands for, oh, they changed their website in the last few hours and took down what it stands for. Whatever it stands for, it's when people agree to buy the products that a farmer will grow like ahead of time. So they say, you know, hey, if you'll plant this much or raise this many animals, when they're ready, we'll buy them from you collectively. So anyway, the CSA is in Guilford, Vermont, and it's called Tapaloo Guilds, and they accept Dash now as well. All right, moving on to price movement, which is maybe what has brought you here today. Good heavens. This will be the first time a Dash Detailed episode has a, oh, Pete just laughed and hit his head on the wall. This will be the first time that a Dash Detailed episode has a relevant price report at time of publication. That's a plus. So checking the handy dandy site coinmarketcap.com, refreshing the page. Oh, I forgot this computer's not online. Okay, so I won't refresh the page, but this was fresh as of 5 minutes ago. The price per Dash is $97 and 8 cents. I saw a screenshot that a number of hours ago, 5, 6, 7 hours ago, Dash did cross the $100 mark. So that is, wow. That gives us a 24-hour trade volume, as in trade volume of the past 24 hours of $67 million worth of Dash. That's the highest I've ever seen it. Our coin supply is just under 7.2 million Dash. And our market cap then is just about $700 million. And I would love to show you the charts right now. This is the 3-month market cap chart. This is the 1 year. This is the lifetime. But I don't know how to do that on a live stream just yet. If you know how I could do that on a live stream, I would love your feedback in the comments section. Now, in light of this market cap, you may be wondering, if you know anything about Dash, what does this make our available treasury every month? If you don't know what Dash's treasury is, that is 10% of our block reward. That is 10% of newly created coins are set aside to be allocated by investor vote. That is by masternode vote. And so each month, 10% of our block reward is currently 6,917 Dash. And we can create up to that amount to pay out to fund various projects and people. And any amount that we do not allocate up until that amount just does not get created at all. That's why the total coin supply of Dash isn't precisely known at this time, because we don't know precisely how many Dash we'll create each month in the treasury. Although assuming that we created the entirety of the treasury every month, I believe the coin cap would be somewhere around 19 million coins in the year 2100, something like that. So back to the monthly treasury amount, 6,917 Dash in dollar denominated purchasing power as of today is $684,000 approximately. This did not go unnoticed by writer Joel Valenzuela at Cointelegraph. He published a piece called Dash Surges to Record High and claims $500,000 monthly development budget. And then just the price movement in general was also covered on Bloomberg, finally, Bloomberg. I've been waiting for you to come to the yard. Also at Bitcoinist, also at Razor Forex twice, and at Finance Magnates twice. And moving to network statistics. So at this time, there are 4,012 masternodes. And I would show you the lifetime chart, but again, that's not happening in this moment. So 4,012 masternodes, and then in mining, our hash rate is 3 terahashes per second to be precise. And that is down only slightly from a very recently reached all-time high, as in reached just like this past week, of 3.4 terahashes per second. So if you would like to see the hash rate chart of yourself for Dash, the site I use is bitinfocharts.com. That you just go click on Dash, and yeah, I like them. If anybody has another site that they like to use for these sorts of things, hash rate in particular, I would be open to seeing that in the comment section below as well, and I would be happy to check that out. And while I'm in network statistics, I'll report that our next treasury payout, technical term being super block, our next treasury payout super block is in 20 days. So if you intend to put in a proposal to Dash's treasury, and anybody can do this, granted they are willing to pay a 5 Dash submission fee. This is an anti-spam measure, and you can just increase the amount of Dash that you request by 5 to simply reimburse yourself for the proposal fee should your proposal pass. And I would exhort you to make, if you're going to put in a proposal to the Dash network, which I highly recommend, I would exhort you to make a pre-proposal first. What I mean by this is you would go to dash.org/forum. You would scroll down, I think it's the 5th bullet point down, called budget and pre-proposals, something like that. And you would make a post and you would title it pre-proposal : and then the title of your pitch. And then in the body, you would give a detailed pitch saying, I intend to make this proposal to the network. Here are all the details. Here's how much Dash I seek to be paid for either a one-time payout, or if it's multi-month, how many months you have in mind. And then let the voters begin to chime in the comment section. And this can save you so much time, can save you money, certainly, in proposal fees, because the masternodes may say, hey, tweak this and you'll get my yes vote, or change the amount you're asking for, or the number of payouts you're asking for, and you'll get my yes vote, et cetera, et cetera. And so it can really just be very valuable and very useful to do that. So I would recommend doing that. Even if it's just pre-proposal, this is my idea. Is this even something you guys would consider funding, or am I just up in the night? It's worth an ask. And finally, in social happenings, I think this might be my favorite part of the show. So a few days ago on the DashPay subreddit, that is reddit.com/r/dashpay, Redditor Biltong0808, I like Biltong, he put in a post that was titled, "You guys are so laid back." And in the body of his post, he simply said, "Dash is breaking all-time highs every couple of minutes, and no one even bothers to freak. Man, you are too cool." And from this, from the response section, I have pulled a comment of the week. And the comment comes from Redditor The Desert Lynx. That's actually the Cointelegraph writer I mentioned earlier, Joel Valenzuela. I've pulled his response as a comment of the week. He said, "It's genuine confidence. Dash users and investors know what they're dealing with and don't sit around hoping for some huge hype wave to take them to the moon. It's the difference between waiting to win the lottery and patiently building your business. When you make it huge through nothing but hard work, it's less surprising." But guess what? I have a second comment of the week because there were two that were equally good. And the second is actually a tweet from Dash community member and blogger Eric Sammons. And Eric Sammons' tweet says, I ran a Bitcoin node, but I shut it down when it became inconvenient. I'm incentivized to keep my Dash masternode running in spite of this DDoS attack. Pretty groovy. Next in social happenings, I will announce to you the winners of the Dash Force Swarm contest in February. If you don't know what Dash Force is, it is an ongoing Treasury proposal to basically make available and distribute incentives for basically whatever the proposal holders think will make Dash better that month. In February, the Swarm contest that they created was to incentivize the making of high-value comments on various articles or videos about Dash. It's not the least of which to include links like, hey, if you're curious to learn more about Dash, join us here, wherever. And so there were originally going to be 3 winners receiving $50 in Dash each for that contest, but apparently there was a 3-way tie for the 3rd spot. And so 5 people have received the $50 Dash payout. And they are Nibiru Hybrid, The Coin Wars, Goobadoo, Sakababai, and Solo WizKid. Congratulations. And anytime Dash Force creates new contests, I will be sure to mention them here, so you can stay tuned for those in the future. And then finally, in social happenings, yes, oh no, I'm sorry, 2 more. Instant send deposits are now supported on the Dash Nation Slack. And this I'm rather glad about because it used to be that if you wanted to tip somebody, if you didn't already have some Dash in your Dashbot wallet, you would of course make a deposit and I'd have to wait for 6 confirmations. And by that time, like the glow and the glory of whatever comment I wanted to tip in the moment, it had faded. And that was not perfectly convenient. So I reached out to Dash developer Narubi, and Narubi, like a boss, just made the Dashbot instant send enabled within minutes. And so sweet, that works now. And then finally, in social happenings, there is a new online, well, it's not a new online store, but rather an online store is newly selling Dash merchandise, or at least it's new to me. I just found out about it. So it's the Bitcoin store, and their URL is allthingsdecentral.com. I don't know if that was always their URL or if they just changed it, because it still says the Bitcoin store on the site, but far be it from me to speculate. Their Dash swag is looking kind of sweet. They have this purple hoodie that looks sweet. They have this long-sleeved red men's t-shirt with like a Dash D on it. And I wouldn't have guessed red, but it looks sharp. This red and this blue together, they look sharp. So anyway, various bits of swag there. And that is it for social happenings. And my friends, that would be the end of this show. But I do have just a final closing message. And I guess you could even, this is like, call it the current opportunities subcategory or category, which is, if it hasn't become completely plain and obvious by now, the Dash Treasury, that is our ability to both hire people to perform various tasks as well as fund or sponsor various projects. Our ability to do so has never been greater than it is today. And so I would invite you, if you are the kind of person who has an idea about how Dash's ecosystem could be expanded in any number of ways, certainly the sky is the limit, I would just invite you to consider doing so. I would invite you to consider putting in a proposal, a pre-proposal first, of course. If I can do it, definitely anybody can do it. And so I will leave you with that and an invitation for you to come back to this YouTube channel this coming Friday for the second episode of Dash Detailed Spotlight series, where I will be speaking with the Dash Network Operations Man with the Plan, CoinGun, also known as Jeff Smith. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.